Good morning and welcome to T-Hub Capital, the Investors Lounge, the podcast where we explore financial market dynamics, emerging trends, and the insights that shape successful investments. Each week, we'll delve into the strategies and analyses that drive our investment decisions. You'll get an insider's perspective on the factors influencing markets and the potential winners and losers of tomorrow. Subscribe to the podcast to stay ahead of the curve and make informed investment choices. Enjoy listening.
Welcome to T-Hub Capital's The Investors Lounge weekly newsletter. Today's date is the 8th of September. Let's dive into the week's top market news. European markets navigate mixed economic signals and central bank caution. European stocks faced headwinds this past week, with the Pan-European Stocks 600 index edging down 0.17%. The decline was driven by concerns over global growth following weak US jobs data and the impact of a stronger euro. Major European markets were mixed, as Italy's FTSE MIB fell 1.39% and Germany's DAX lost 1.28%, while France's CAC 40 slipped 0.38%. In contrast, the UK's FTSE 100 managed a modest gain of 0.23%. In the Eurozone, the economic picture showed signs of stability as headline inflation for August ticked up slightly to 2.1%, remaining near the European Central Bank's ECB 2% target. Core inflation, which strips out volatile items, held steady at 2.3%. These figures have reinforced the view among policymakers that interest rates are likely to remain unchanged in the near term. Most economists now believe the ECB has concluded its policy easing, citing the benign inflation outlook and a resilient economy. This resilience was further highlighted by a drop in the bloc's unemployment rate to a recent low of 6.2% in July. However, consumer spending showed some softness, with retail sales volumes declining by 0.5% in July, though this was partly offset by an upward revision to June's figures. Meanwhile, the UK housing market presented a complex picture. Mortgage approvals exceeded forecasts in July, suggesting robust buyer interest. House price data, however, was conflicting, with the nationwide index showing a slight fall while Halifax reported a modest increase. At the Bank of England BOE, a cautious tone prevailed. Governor Andrew Bailey expressed considerably more doubt about further interest rate cuts, citing rising inflation risks and concerns about the labor market. Echoing this sentiment, Deputy Governor Claire Lombardelli suggested that persistent price pressures might require the key interest rate to settle only slightly below its current 4% level. Now our insight into alternative markets. The new defense sector. Investing in technology. The definition of national defense is rapidly expanding beyond traditional military hardware, creating a new investment frontier. Driven by the same geopolitical tensions and government budgets that fuel the conventional arms industry, the real growth opportunity now lies in the technology that powers modern security, from artificial intelligence to cyber defense. This new defense ecosystem has two core pillars. The first is on the physical battlefield, where AI and autonomous systems are paramount. This includes companies creating intelligent data analysis platforms like Palantir and advanced drones for reconnaissance and combat from firms like Kratos or AeroVironment. The second pillar is the digital front, where cybersecurity leaders such as CrowdStrike and Cloudflare provide the essential fortifications to protect critical national infrastructure from constant cyber threats. Investing in these technology leaders and private companies offers a comprehensive way to gain exposure to the contemporary defense sector. Crucially, this approach provides a viable alternative for ESG-conscious investors who are restricted from holding traditional arms manufacturers. As strategic priorities shift from hardware to software and data, focusing on these digital technologies represents the new frontier for investing in global security.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Hub Capital, the Investors Lounge podcast. I hope you found this content interesting and inspiring. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss a single episode, and share it with your friends and colleagues who might be interested. To learn more about T Hub Capital and our activities, visit our website, hubcapital.com. You can also follow us on our LinkedIn page. See you soon. All the best from the T Hub Capital team.